Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we cover a new character every week. This week we're doing Klaw, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
The whole crew's here today. It's nice to have everybody here at start. How is everybody doing? How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a pretty long day, but just kind of winding down and relaxing.
That's nice. How are you doing, Steven?
Beautiful up here. I hate to say it, but, I wish you guys could enjoy it too.
I'm actually a lot closer to you right now than I normally am. But before we get there, how are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing fine. It's the end of the year, so...
Watching TV and not doing anything.
This is the crunch time for me. June is crunch time because it's the end of a semi-annual period. I am in Brooke County, West Virginia right now for work, so I'm actually pretty close. Not really. I'm still,
You're closer to Steven than you are from us, I think.
I am closer to Steven than I am to Charleston.
Yeah.
Is that like Wheeling, West Virginia?
It's north of Wheeling.
Oh wow, you're in the finger then. Huh.
Yeah. I'm in the middle finger of West Virginia.
West when you're up there, it's West by God, Virginia. All right.
West by God, Virginia.
That's about as close to God as you can get up there. That is God's country.
I'll tell you what, the pollen up here is something else. I was having trouble today. This was a rough day.
Nothing's been the infrastructure is the same. The infrastructure is the same as when God was here. So whatever.
I'll tell you what. I opened up a well casing today, and I disturbed a wasp's nest when I did that. And oh boy, I have a sting in the crook of my elbow, which has been bothering me for hours. It's the worst sting. It feels so bad.
That location sounds terrible.
It really is. It's rough. Oh gosh.
It could have been worse.
Could have been your eyelid.
Yeah, it also could have been my dick hole. I mean, there are plenty of places that are worse than that. I'll tell you this: it doesn't feel good right now.
I was trying to be PG-13, but okay.
Well, I went full R. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. Well, now that we're past all that, have any of you had any games that you've played recently?
Well, Fred, we played in a tournament.
We did. We played in a tournament of 2 people. It was you v me, and of course that means that Brad won the day.
So Fred had you had your best finish in a tournament with second place?
I mean, that's technically true. Technically accurate. Technically true. I will say that it wasn't a blowout, which I'm
No, it was a very close game.
It was pretty clearly he was ahead for the entire game, but I wasn't annihilated. I was playing Criminals. No, it wasn't. Boy, I've got that in my head. I was playing the Midnight Suns. I had Blade, Dr. Voodoo, Iron Fist, who did great in this game, Black Cat, and one more person, Wong.
Were you playing 17 or 16?
Oh boy, this was almost a week ago. I don't remember, if I'm to be perfectly honest. We were playing 18, I think, because it was it was the Infinity Formula. No, it was Legacy Virus. Legacy Virus is cured. And
well, that's 19.
Well, and the other one,
Mutant Madmen.
Mutant Madmen, that's it.
And that's 18.
Yeah, and I think we were playing at 18. I honestly don't remember what I was playing exactly. I think that I'm missing one person. Oh, I was playing Moon Knight also. So, there you go. I liked the list. It was good.
I like
And it
that's a
handled
model.
really
Just accept it.
I
But
won the game by putting Fred in a situation he could not dig himself out of at the end.
yes, yeah. He had 2 of the legacy viruses on Beast, and instead of fighting me, he just ran away in a
And
way that I couldn't catch him.
yeah, and then I had a legacy virus on Storm, and I had 2 of the traps, and I needed 3 points to win.
Right, and I it wasn't outside of the realm of possibility. It actually was. It was
Yes.
outside of the realm of possibility, because in my head I was like, I will have Iron Fist take out Storm with a flying kick, grab the thing, and then head down and capture the last point. And what I didn't realize is that I can't place myself when I do the flying kick if I take the person out.
Yeah, if they're dead.
If they get KO'd, which this I KO'd Storm, I can't place myself.
Yep.
Womp womp.
Oh, only works on days there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh well. Oh well.
Oh, learning steps, right?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
well.
it was a good plan. It just
Yes.
did not work out.
It just didn't happen.
It seems when I play Brad with my Midnight Suns, we always have a tussle too. So I don't know if Midnight Suns is a solution for X-Men that people might be sleeping on a little bit. So
I don't like playing against them with my X-Men. It always feels tough.
uphill a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, have there been any other games that have been played recently?
I
Well-
played a game, but there's not much to talk about. There wasn't. Me and Brad witnessed a very good game being played
Yes.
yesterday.
Tell me
was-
about that.
It was Demons and Montesi Formula.
Okay.
They
So it's
played-
right down the
Ooh.
middle.
Yeah, they were both E's. It was 19. It was Midnight Suns versus Hydra. It was Baron Strucker, Hulk, Winter Soldier, Spider Woman, and then another 3-point model.
Zemo?
Yeah, Baron Zemo. Yeah. And then on the Midnight Sun side, it was Blade, Voodoo, Ghost Rider, Black Cat, and Moon Knight. Hulk died on turn 2.
Holy guacamole. Holy
See,
moly.
Midnight
Ghost-
Suns tend to do that. Oh my god, yes.
Ghost Rider was dazed on turn 1.
Oh my god.
The game finished via tabling.
Oh wow.
the-
Which side got tabled?
Hydra got tabled.
Hydra got tabled.
The dice gods were in Aaron's corner for that
Aaron
game.
v. Michael, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dice. I think Michael rolled rather, like, pretty on par and average, but Aaron was rolling very, very hot. Aaron had a really good play. He Ghost Rider got to activate after he was dazed on turn 1 and pulled Hulk with Highway to Hell all the way back to the back point. Literally in surrounding, like, got to place him literally where Ghost Rider was behind him, and then all around him was Moon Knight.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, every character was within 2, and then he was able to Siege of Darkness with everybody, and get a free attack on all 5 characters, and then still have 2 attacks left with Ghost Rider.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Yeah, it was really good, and then Hulk did not get to activate a second time. He only had his first activation. It was the only activation he had. he was able to do that, and then he did that, and then was able to play Follow Me, and then kill Hulk. So, I mean, he put a lot into him, but
I mean, if you
yeah,
get to kill Hulk,
well, and that was the big thing, because after that, it was Ghost Rider, Voodoo, Blade, Moon Knight, and Black Cat versus, Strucker, Zemo, Spider Woman, and Winter Soldier. Like that sounds real rough to be on.
it does.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Midnight Suns, but they always seem to be the kryptonite for the stuff that's in the meta, and then they're just not really good into anything else. You know what I mean? It's like they're the dark horse that never that can.
That's what me and Aaron were talking about. They're an affiliation because they're a really good affiliation. They've got really good models. Siege of Darkness is really hard to play. A lot of splash models. But I do think if you have the capability of killing Blade rather quickly, it really crumbles Midnight Suns. And once Hulk was gone, Hydra didn't really have a way to do that. So it made it really easy for him to survive and kind of just pick everyone else apart.
Yeah, it's like when I went to Fabricator's Forge and I was playing my Midnight Suns and I played Bryce in the last game. His Hulk was gone on turn 2, and then I took out Beta Ray Bill in turn 3. I mean, it was pretty dastardly, So, but like Hulk's the boogeyman, right? And everybody says, "Oh, Hulk this, oh, Hulk that," and then Midnight Suns comes along and says, "Oh, what Hulk?" Right? But then they can't deal with things like Black Swan, so.
Right, you're right.
So, but anyway, sounds like a charming game. So,
yeah, that game was much more entertaining than the game that me and Michael played before that.
Or Michael.
Well, do you have any games, Steven?
Well, I just completed one at our game store, and it was a new player, Alex. He and his wife were up from Florida, and they just kind of found the game store by looking on the website. And I met him on Monday for board game night, and then he came this Thursday. And so I did a little. He's played like Marvel Crisis Protocol like twice. So, of course, I don't know what it is, but everybody gravitates. Like when I set out the leaders for people to pick a team, right? Everybody gravitates towards Doctor Strange for some reason. I don't know what it is. But, it's like he's a really complex leader for a beginning player to run, but I don't hold back and I say, well, okay, we can do this. So, and then of course, go ahead.
Do you lay the models out? Like, did he see the model?
Yeah. I put all my leader models out and I say, which leader would you like to play? And that's how I do it.
Well, everyone out there in podcast land should know that your Doctor Strange is a very well painted model, and it is very eye-catching. That is probably why he looks awesome.
But Kingpin's there too, so
Kingpin doesn't have a bunch of rings of Agamotto floating around him, or whatever those are called.
But he's got that dapper white suit. Come on. But so I
people also really like Doctor Strange as a character.
True.
Yeah.
So I let him pick my leader, and he picked Green Goblin for Spider Foes. So we played Spider Foes versus Defenders. He wanted to go with Daredevil and Wolverine out of all things. So I kind of held back a little bit. I wasn't doing anything. So I put Venom into Wolverine, which is a good matchup, because they both heal and all that good stuff. We didn't play any tactics cards. We played Extremis 3.0, the healing one, and then Spider Infected, kind of like the base game stuff at 17. So he took Strange and Wong, and like I said, Daredevil and Wolverine. And I just took Spider Foes, my simple Goblin with Venom, and then Lizard, Doc Ock, and Craven. So, I mean, nothing too serious. So,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
but we had a good time. He was learning some things, and he and his wife are going to move up here at some point in time. He's an older gentleman like me, and so they're going to have a house in Florida and a house up here. So, but like I said, everything worked out. Just getting more people into the game. He's more familiar with Legion. He just came over from Legion to start playing Marvel Crisis. So
A good move. No, that's not fair. I also did that move. I was playing a lot of Legion and then started playing Marvel Crisis Protocol.
which one do you like better?
Marvel Crisis Protocol, no question.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember
Easily.
before me and Fred got into MCP, we played Legion while they were playing MCP.
That's true.
Fred was so sad because nobody else showed up to play Legion, and I was like, I have Legion, and we played.
Brandon, this talk of a new player reminded me of something we've been meaning to talk about on the podcast for a while.
Oh yeah, we do need wow. It's been like a month we've held this conversation in because we have poor memories and obviously forget about it.
So our friend Zach played a core box game of MCP against a mutual friend, Brett, and he had some takeaways from his one game of MCP.
Really just two takeaways,
yeah,
right?
two takeaways. Besides, the game seemed pretty good. Number one takeaway, he said Crossbones seems bad.
I mean, okay.
And Brandon, what was the other takeaway?
Other solid takeaway was Baron Zemo seems a lot better than anybody else in the core box.
Zach is a very intelligent man. He's very smart.
He is a very intelligent man. That's very accurate.
One game. It took one game for him to figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said about Crossbones, he was like, "Yeah, I needed him to get somewhere, and he just could never get anywhere."
Which Zemo had to.
Which is right on pace for him. That's what that guy does. He does not move around well.
No, he does not.
I wish Crossbones would have little effects that would be, not even talking about his movement, but I wish if they do an updated card for him, I would like him to be a bodyguard for Sin, kind of like Groot and Rocket,
Yeah, but Sin's trash too.
I understand, but just for thematics, that's all.
Yeah, the thing is, like, he's a very playable model if he just moves medium. Like, you don't have to change anything else. If he just moves medium, like, he's a playable model. Like, that short movement is just so damning.
Maybe reduce his spender by 1 cost. But yeah.
Well,
He's playable in the fact he's playable in the idea of like he can literally just go sit on a point with Kingpin. Mm-hmm. Like, but he can't do that because half time it takes him a whole turn just to get near a point. And then if he has to go to another point, God forbid.
Yeah, then he gets tossed off by something.
And then he has to spend 2 actions just to get. He gets pushed medium, and now all of a sudden he's got to spend 2 actions just to get back in position.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. Is there any Cerebro MCP news that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's just one little thing. If you're interested in Shatterpoint, just know that PointBreakSW.com and there's links on the website to the apps, has cards for models that have not been spoiled by AMG yet. So if you want your models early, go there.
How'd you manage that?
I got my sources. It's the Discord. I got them from the Discord, but they're all in one spot. And apparently I'm now the source for images for the TTS mod too. So
how does it feel to be important?
I don't know how this happened. I'm also, in case people who play Shatterpoint didn't notice, my name is on as the game admin on Longshanks for Shatterpoint. Did not ask for that. It's just there.
It's
kind of like you want to be a ruler of a country.
Well, speaking of Shatterpoint, Brad and I managed to get a game of Shatterpoint in recently.
Yes, a full game.
A full game. I'll tell you this, it's more fun than I thought it was going to be. It is a good game. It's a pretty fun little system that they've cooked up.
I like it. I'm excited to play some more. And to get some
I do too.
To get things that aren't the core box.
Right. So, my takeaway, I blew all my force points way too soon.
You really did.
I really did. And it meant that I could not get Anakin Skywalker into the fight.
Yeah,
and because of that,
Anakin made 0 attacks.
Yep.
and boy, do you want him attacking people.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem ideal for. Did you figure out? Did you like one side more than the other after your game, friend?
I liked. To be honest, I liked my side. I liked the rebels. I guess not rebels. The light side, the good guys.
The Republic.
The Republic in the core book.
There was a pretty easy word to describe all that.
I was playing the rebels.
Right. You were playing a bunch of robots.
There weren't that many robots.
There seemed like there were a lot. They were everywhere.
No, half those were Mandalorians.
That's true. Oh,
there was a lot of metal.
Yeah.
So
Magneto would have had a heyday.
Fred.
Yes. Yeah.
Will this switch to your main game, or are you still going to be in the Marvel universe?
I'm not going to say that it's going to switch to my main game. It is a different game than Marvel Crisis Protocol. And I'm pretty invested in Marvel Crisis Protocol at this point. I mean, we're making a podcast about it right now. But I do enjoy it a lot, and I certainly will play it again. I will say that.
So this is more like the palate cleanser. Like, I've played enough MCP for these past 2 weeks, like 18 games. I need something different.
Yeah, it's a little side game.
And that is not the case for me, because I played a grand total of 1 game this month of MCP, and it was Brad kicking my ass.
We already went over that. I did not kick your ass.
There was a span of 2 weeks where I did play 18 games. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I've played 18 games the entire time I've played this game.
Oh,
that is almost certainly untrue. That is almost certainly untrue.
I don't think I've played 18 games this year.
Now that's I can believe.
Untrue also. No, he's done it. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting off course. All right, I'm rolling us back in. Okay. Steven, do you have a segment for us today?
Yes, I do. If you would like me to expound on it. It actually has something to do with the character that we were going to do. However, we had this new guy show up. And amazingly enough, he has something that's very similar on his car. So can you guess the topic I'm going to be talking about? Now, the character we were doing before we were going to do, in case a new one didn't come up, was Deadpool. For those listeners,
you gave me entirely too much credit. Like, I actually pay attention to who we talk about before it happens.
I just want to interject real quick, and I don't know if I said this last episode, but Deadpool is our last request. So if you guys have requests, put them in the comments. Okay, go ahead, Steven.
Okay, thank you.
The characters who cannot be pushed or advanced by a specific type of attack.
Incorrect.
That's all I got.
Is it chimichangas?
No, I do like chimichangas.
Definitely not chimichangas.
I just don't see anything else that they have remotely similar on their card.
Okay. Well, what they have similar is that these are special characters in the game because they have at least a superpower or innate way to heal themselves.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
So,
They have methods of healing.
correct. And this is just for themselves. Okay. This is not other people per se. But, if you can have a healing factor or a way to heal yourself, you become a little bit better than your peer characters around you. Will you agree?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, how many characters out of I think it's 143 now with Ghost Rider and the two Klaw and M'Baku coming out? How many characters in the game?
we don't know what M'Baku does for the record.
Correct. How many characters in the game have ways to heal themselves?
Does this
Innately.
include tactics cards? Oh,
No
okay.
tactics cards, no leadership.
And they're not allowed to also heal someone else.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
This is a self-healing character.
Like only self-healing.
Right. They can use a superpower to heal themselves, like Klaw can, right? They have an innate healing power. So
Would you count one? Would you
or they
count
have-
one?
yes, Wong, of course. Or they have
Okay.
an attack that heals them.
But Wong heals someone else. So it's not
Right,
someone who
but
can
he
only
can
heal
also
themselves.
himself.
Correct.
That's the thing. He can heal himself. So,
Correct.
all right.
So does
I'll
Wong count
guess
or
for-
not?
Wong
Yes,
does
he
count because he can heal himself.
Are there any characters that can only heal somebody else?
Yes, there is. There's actually one.
Just one, right?
Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Hood.
Correct. That's why he's not on the list.
So it's every character who can heal somebody or themselves besides Hood.
No. Any character who can heal just themselves.
So
So it's
not
anyone
Wong.
Yeah,
No,
that's the
you-
thing is you keep saying just themselves, which
Yeah.
means Wong would not be classified in that statement. Is the problem with what you're saying? So you're saying can only heal just themselves, which means Wong can heal somebody else, so he wouldn't classify this.
But Wong
for
can
that.
heal himself.
I understand, but you're saying just himself, which means he could only heal himself.
Oh, no. I understand. My semantics are wrong. I stand corrected.
Yeah. So it's a character who can heal himself with healing factor or has an ability to heal other characters or himself, and himself. Other characters and himself.
Correct.
Or just
16.
himself.
I'm guessing 16.
16 for Fred. Okay, I'm writing this down. Brad?
14.
14. Brandon?
I'm still kind of confused here. Give me a second. I gotta regather my thoughts.
He's got to look it up.
Oh, if he's looking it up. Shoot out a number.
19.
19. That's why I'm trying to make this harder. So you can't look it up so quick.
Well, don't confuse me. I could have got it. I know there are 9 characters with healing factor.
Really? Because I have 10.
Yeah, I counted 10. Oh, wait. No,
Yeah, 10. I'm sorry, it's 10.
my 10 included Nebula, so I am missing someone.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's go
it's-
over healing.
There are
factor
10
one.
healing. There are 10 healing factor creatures. Characters.
So we have healing factor 1, which we have 6 characters in the game that have that. Okay. Fred, do you know one of these?
One, Sabretooth. Apex Predator is healing factor 1.
Correct.
Regular Sabretooth is.
Correct.
Honey Badger. Strucker.
Correct.
Lizard.
Lizard.
Correct. One more.
This might be who I was missing from my list.
Who else is there?
Cassandra Nova.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So going on to healing factor 2. How many?
There's
we have 4 here.
4.
Wolverine, and Deadpool.
Technically, that is correct. But would you like to give their real names here, Brandon?
Logan, the Wolverine, X-23, and Deadpool.
Correct. Okay. Now, these are innate healing properties. Well, there are 3 characters in the game that have innate healing properties that are unique. Care to guess who these 3? Nebula is one of them.
Nebula, Klaw.
No, his is not innate.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I see what you mean. You mean the game definition of innate.
Correct, yes.
Oh boy.
Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk, yes, that is correct.
Oh, Immortal Hulk. Okay. Everyone is screaming the answers at their podcast player. I cannot think of the third one.
Is it Bob?
No, it's not Bob.
I need to know if Bob counts in this because he does heal himself.
No, it is not Bob.
I would like to submit a formal request for this question to consider Bob, Agent of Hydra, as a correct answer.
I will look at that. I will look at that card and then deny your request.
I'm just saying, he heals himself.
Who is the third one? Who's the third one?
It's Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Blade, of course. Of course.
Because if he's by someone who's bleeding, obviously.
He heals.
Yeah.
Correct.
I would like to retract my answer. I think it's like 16.
Hey, guess what number I put out? What's the answer? What is the answer?
The answer is 23 because we haven't got to the rest yet. So,
oh my god.
So active superpowers. Who has healing for active superpowers?
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Doctor Strange and Wong.
Correct.
Klaw.
Correct.
How many are there?
There's 2 more on this list.
2 more. Okay.
2 more characters that heal other characters. Or can heal
no, they're active
that have
superpowers.
active superpower.
Yeah, I'm just talking out loud. I'm sorry.
That have a healing property for themselves.
It's not Hood. He was disqualified.
Correct.
Yeah.
One's so obvious. I can't believe you guys are missing it.
It's been a long day.
I think you overestimate my willingness to play characters that heal other characters, apparently.
Carnage?
Carnage is one, and he was the harder one to get because when he dazes or KOs somebody...
Yeah, he heals.
Mm-hmm. He has to use his superpower that costs 3.
I apparently
can't think
do
of
not play characters that heal them.
I actually mentioned them early. I mentioned this character earlier in the podcast.
Ghost Rider. Oh no, that's a card. Never mind.
Are you guys giving up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Groot.
Oh yeah.
Groot.
He has the same healing that Mr. Claw has. Now, for our last 5, these are people who can heal by attacking others.
Claw only removes 2. Groot removes 3, just for the record.
Yeah. Omega Red.
Omega Red is 1, correct?
Venom
is another.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Are we talking about attacks now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme.
Correct. Brad, I'm so surprised you're not getting one of these.
You overestimate me.
No,
So
well, Brad.
So one's a mutant, then another mutant. Does Strucker heal himself? Yeah, Strucker does, right?
Well, but he has healing.
No,
yeah,
he has.
But you're right. He does have an attack that heals him.
Correct, but he's already on the list. So
yeah.
Who am I missing?
Is it Storm?
No.
No.
I was
Storm would be broken.
That would be pretty good.
Bob, Agent of Hydra.
No.
I'm just saying. He should be
What does
in
Jean
consider-
Grey do? I don't even know what she does.
Nah,
Does she have
I
something
don't
that
think
he-
it's Jean Grey.
It's not
Okay.
Jean, no.
I'm not going to read her card.
But
to
I
find
will
out.
give you a hint. It is another 5 threat.
Another 5 threat.
Oh, it's Cable.
Cable. Yes.
Cable does on his spender.
And there is one last person in this category.
Black Swan, no.
No.
Is it Supergiant?
It is Supergiant.
Oh.
Okay, you
I
were
was
close
very
with
close
Black
with
Swan.
Black Swan.
Yes, you were. I was like, do I give him a hint or not? So, yes, 23 characters in the game have ways to innately heal themselves specifically or heal others.
I've noticed a pattern with these things. It is
What's
always
that?
way more than I think it is.
Yes.
Brandon wins. Brandon was closest.
Brandon
was
was closest, yes. So
I was
I hope you
closest,
guys
yeah.
like this little exercise. I hope you're not getting bored of them. So
Bob
Yes,
should
that-
count.
That was
He heals
interactive.
himself.
I like it
told
being
you-
interactive.
I looked at him and I would say no.
Oh.
Bob removes damage from himself.
All right. Is there any other thing that we need to cover before we move on to our boy today?
Yeah, I'm starting a new campaign. It's called Free Bob. He deserves better. That's all.
Oh wow.
Bob, Agent of Hydra. All right, I'm gonna start him. All right, so our character today is Klaw, otherwise known as Ulysses Klaw. His defenses are 3 physical, 5 energy, and 3 mystic. Oh, I'm waiting.
I am very disappointed that his last name is Klaw in this. Because I'm pretty
What's
sure
the-
in the comics they changed his real name to Klau and that he was Dutch.
It's Klaue.
UE. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure they changed it. And this is wrong. This is just wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
That's,
so you're calling lazy typesetting, huh?
They didn't do their research.
come on, AMG. Come on. All right. Well, he is 7 health on both sides, on both his healthy and injured side. He is threat 5, size 2, and he moves medium. And Brad, why don't you go over his attacks?
Okay. The first one is Sonic Blast. It is energy, range 3, 6 dice, no cost. It is a builder, so you gain power for damage dealt. It has wild suppressive for before damage. For each wild, the target loses 1 power. This should have been sap power, but whatever. If you get a crit wild, before damage is dealt, you put the stun special condition. Sonic Shockwave is energy beam 5, 7 dice, cost 5, has wild pierce, and after you place the range tool for this attack, destroy all size 2 or smaller interactive terrain features it overlaps.
All right, Steven, why don't you go over these first 3 things, the affiliation, the active superpower, and the reactive superpower.
Okay. So for his leadership, he is Black Market Entrepreneur. The affiliation is Criminal Syndicate, which gives us now 4. When an allied character is dazed or KO'd after the effect is resolved, Klaw may advance small. As an active superpower, he has Reconstitute form. It costs 2. This character removes up to 2 damage from itself. This superpower can be used only once per turn. And then his reactive superpower is Sound Wave Barrier. Costs 3. When an enemy character ends its activation within 3 of this character, it may use this superpower. This character may push the enemy character away small.
And Brandon, why don't you finish out the card?
Absorb vibrations. When this character is targeted by an enemy physical or energy attack or makes a dodge roll, after the attack is resolved, it gains 1 power. Additionally, this character cannot be pushed or advanced by effects of energy attacks or enemy superpowers. He has hey. This is my part, all right? He has immunities to bleed, incinerate, poison, and shock.
Okay. Who wants to go first on this, gentleman?
I would like to clarify that suppressive is correct because it shouldn't be sap power because he does not gain the power.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It should have just been sap power instead.
Just when you said it, you kind of said like you were like, oh, this should have just like you kind of hit it. It could have been taken 2 different ways. So I just wanted to.
No, I meant like instead of this superpower, they should have given him sap power.
God, dude, he generates so much power.
Yeah, he generates a lot of power. He has a Beam 5 spender too, which is a pretty.
You know what, good... Fred? You don't ever go first. Go ahead.
Okay, you know what? I will go first here. I don't get it. I don't get him. This affiliation sucks. Like, Fred, what does it do? Yeah.
Correction.
Yes.
I would like to give you the secret sauce.
Okay. Then I will let you tell me what he does.
Okay.
Because I'm not in.
When an allied character is dazed or KO'd after the effect is resolved, Klaw may advance short. Sound wave barrier. When an enemy character ends its activation within 3, he then uses the superpower to push the enemy character away small. So they're on a point. They've done their last attack. They've dazed or KO'd your character. You move Klaw. He's within 3. Spends 3. They're off the point.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'm not saying that he does not function. What you just described is exactly what it's supposed to be used for. Can you tell me why I wouldn't bring Kingpin over this, or MODOK 2, Electric Boogaloo? Like, this is...
That secret sauce is like Big Mac sauce from McDonald's just being Thousand Island dressing, though.
Right. This exactly. This is this affiliation. I cannot figure out why.
This is the 4th best affiliation in the affiliation.
Yeah.
But this affiliation is very Klaw because it's very centric on Klaw. Like he doesn't give shit about anybody else.
Yes, this is if you are bringing this affiliation, Klaw is the middle of your battle. Like your game is about Klaw. And he's got some survivability, but let's be honest, if he's a 5-threat character who does a big beam, he's going to draw attention. And
he also doesn't have any defensive tech. Like,
right.
He can heal himself, but once he activates, he's very vulnerable, and it's not hard to do 7 damage through 3 defensive dice.
Right. Exactly. He has 3 defense on his physical, and physical is the most common attack in the game. And 7 health is a lot of health. 14 total is pretty good, but it's not, like, not gonna die health. It's... I really don't think that this model... I am not taken by this model. Okay, I've spoken too much. Someone else talk.
Did you, though? You didn't really talk about the model at all, Fred.
Okay, yeah. I do like that on his builder, he can give stun before damage is dealt. That's nice. It's not common. I mean, it's also a 6 dice builder, which is a pretty good builder. I honestly think he kills stuff very well. He does a lot of killing.
He hits people. He hits people hard.
Yeah, and a beam 5 that does 7 dice is very good. Okay.
7 dice with Pierce.
With Pierce, you're right. Yeah, that is very good. and energy, which is the best thing that it could probably be. All right, someone else talk. Brad,
Yes.
why don't you talk about him?
I'm here. Oof. So there are players in a Discord. I did not see this firsthand, but I did hear about it from Michael. That are much better than me, and seem to be excited about this character. And I don't understand. Like,
I don't either.
he seems okay, but only
Yeah.
okay.
He is brutally okay. Here's another thing that I want to point out that I forgot to talk about is on absorbed vibrations. He cannot be pushed or advanced by enemy energy attacks. There are not many that do that. I think Arnim Zola is the only one.
No.
Doctor Strange.
And
Doctor.
And Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
Shuri's Gauntlet Blaster.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay.
Which I mean, it's there because of Shuri.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. All right, that's fair. Never mind. I cut you off, Brad. I'm sorry.
I don't understand what they're so excited about. Like, yes, Sonic Shockwave is a good attack, but it also costs 5 power. 5's a lot.
He should reliably have 5 power. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
think so too. Yeah.
I don't think him getting.
Okay,
5
then
power
you
is gonna be
won't be doing Soundwave Barrier.
Why not?
Well, that's the crux of every character. You got to figure out what you need to do for the moment, right? So
I don't know. Like, if you like Klaw, you want to play Klaw, you go right ahead. But like, I don't think he's gonna get like, I don't think he's worth splashing in a bunch of lists. I don't know. He's just meh.
well,
Okay, Brandon, what are your takes?
My takes. I think Steven's got some good. I want to hear Steven's takes.
All right, Steven, what do you have to say?
well, I don't want to step
Steven
on
likes
Brandon's.
I think Steven
toes.
likes him. Hey, don't. Yeah, I got the list building shit though. Like, move on. Y'all gotta stop stealing my thunder here. All right? No, I'm just kidding.
Which list is it?
Don't worry about it.
No, I see a couple of places outside of Criminal Syndicate where he can shine. Now, does he shine well because those leaders are a little bit lackluster? He's probably the best of the bunch, but I mean, seriously, anytime I see a beam, I have to go to original Red Skull in the box. I mean, that's money right there. Okay, just in my estimation. So, I mean, there's a lot of displacement that you can get off of him. If you have ways to move him around externally, he can just be a pain. And I like his tech into things that are terrorizing the tabletop right now, like Guardians of the Galaxy. He is going to be an absolute monster against them. So, I
think he plays better with them than against them.
But I'm just saying he's a good tech piece against them also. Other things just melt. He's like, yeah, okay. I mean, I know it's 5 dice without any modifiers, but he still has 7 health to chew through, and he can heal himself. So that's not nothing. So I don't know. I mean, there's enough here that I can see the puzzle pieces, but I haven't put the whole puzzle together just yet. That's why I'm excited about him. I don't know. I just need a little bit more time to think about it. I mean, there's a couple of things that jump off the page. And, credit where credit's due. There are characters that jump off the page very easily. And those characters are usually seen in games most often. I mean, we can all talk about Black Cat or Dr. Voodoo, and we know what they do, and we know why people take them, because even though their tech is good, I would have to say it's easy tech, whereas this is a little bit harder tech, and I haven't quite figured it all out yet. So
Okay. All right. And what do you have on him, Brandon? What's your take?
This is the worst criminal syndicate leadership we have in the game.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah, yes.
You're not playing him for the leadership. Move on.
All right, I wanted to make that very clear for everybody. The biggest thing I have with him is, like, we've all played with and against Rhino, right? Probably more than a couple times. We've played probably against Rhino a good amount of times at this point, right? Rhino's 3 physical defense is by far the worst thing on that card, because, like, he just dies to physical attacks, and Rhino has defensive tech with damage reduction. Klaw is going to be really short-lived in this game without a significant amount of help with him. However, dude hits, and dude hits hard. The Sonic Blast and Sonic Shockwave are really good attacks. He's going to have the 5 power. I think pretty reliably, if you ignore... He's one of those characters if you ignore, but I think he can get probably 3 damage, roughly. Like, I mean, that's usually average. Like, I think the average 6 versus 3 on Sonic Blast, like, for Sonic Blast would be like 2.8 damage, like, that would get through. So that means he would have to be attacked like once to be able to get the Sonic Shockwave off each turn. So I think the hardest thing is, like, it's going to be a little harder to play him in attrition. I think that's where he wants to play, which is going to be a little tough. I think it's really hard. My argument, kind of to counter what Steven was saying, is where he could be splashed. I just don't know why you would splash this character over, like, a Ghost Rider for the same power. If you're looking out of affiliation, I think that would be really hard. I do think he has some play under MODOK. So when an allied character's Days are KO, that does count grunts. So with, like, Shadowland Daredevil, every time you vanish the grunts or the grunts die, he would be able to advance small, so you can kind of use that before you activate Klaw. You can play him with Hood to give him extra healing to try to get him to survive more than he is, because he is immune to bleed, so he's not going to take the only downside that the Hood healing offers. But overall, I'm actually just pissed that this is a 5-threat character. Like, I didn't think there was a world where Klaw was going to be above a 3-threat. That and the fact that Klaw was, like, originally a massive Fantastic Four villain, and we don't even have the Fantastic Four in the game, but that's besides the point.
Well, okay, I'm going to talk about this later. He was a Fantastic Four villain when Fantastic Four were hanging around Black Panther. Like,
yeah. His
Klaw shows up because Black Panther was there.
His first appearance was in a Fantastic Four book, though, right?
Yes, because Black Panther was there.
I know why. I know why. It's just, I just wanted to throw that out, that we need the Fantastic Four in the game. He's also hideous and ugly to look at. That's like 2 points. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to look at this card.
Well, I think his suite of immunities are nothing to scoff at either, because it's actually pretty good.
He's immune to some of the best things to be immune to.
He's never going to go down in his dice pool. He's never going to either attack or defense. Not going to be losing power or taking damage from Omega Red and, of course, the bleed. But I don't know. I just had a thought.
My big thing, I do think he has. There's tech for him. Energy is a good suite to be in and be good against. 5 threats are. It seems like 5 threats are either really good or really bad, and I just feel like he's smack dab in the middle. Like, I don't know. I think he's just leaning more towards that bad. I I just don't know what he's really gonna do.
I just thought of a place affiliation you could put him where I think he'd actually do really, really good. So
Would you like to share with the class?
I think it's Nick Fury's shield, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he plays really well with grunts. Well, his leadership plays really well with grunts. I mean, outside of that, I mean, he does hit hard. He does hit hard.
Doesn't the original Human Torch have that one card that affects energy attacks too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
This guy is a guy who's gonna have some tactics cards. I bet that there's a tactics card or two that will turn this guy up some. I'm just I don't see the 5 threat. I think the 5 threat is because of the beam 5, and if it became a beam 3 and it dropped him to 4 threat, I think he'd be a lot better.
I just don't understand why he would.
Maybe.
So we haven't got a 3 threat. We haven't got a 3 threat in a long. We haven't got a 3 or a 2 in a really long time, and
No, we haven't.
It's at this point minorly concerning because like it just like the only affiliation and the next ones we're gonna get are probably X-Men, and I feel like the last ones we got were X-Men. Like we haven't got a non-X-Men 3 in a really long time.
I want to point something out about that spender you guys keep going on about.
Yeah.
There is another character with a range 5 beam, 7 dice, and it actually only costs 4 power. And nobody gets excited about Cyclops.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure during that review I said the best thing about him was that attack. The X-Men Blue affiliation's definitely not the best thing about him.
No.
Except
speaking
for
of,
fun fact, this is a fun little segue because my recommendation is to play him under Cyclops.
Stop. I am very angry that Criminal Syndicate gets 4 leaders when X-Men only have 1. It's ridiculous.
You have 2 leaderships on one character and then a Cyclops that gets to hang out. Nobody talks about. I'm not accepting this.
Well, I mean, look at poor Cabal. They only have 1 leader, right? So.
Yeah, Cabal's got a lot better argument than you do, Brad. Sorry.
Yeah, they really do.
Oh God.
All right, let's go to our letter grades for this guy because we're. All right, I'll go first. I'm gonna give him a C. I think a C plus. I think I'm gonna give him a C plus because he hits real hard. It's real hard.
He do be hitting hard.
All right, what are you giving him, Steven?
B, actually.
B. Okay.
I see potential.
Okay. What are you giving him, Brandon?
God, C minus.
Okay. And what are you giving him, Brad?
I'm going B minus just because I know people better than me at the game are excited. I don't know why.
Is it more than one person?
It is. It's more than one person. And
so we're spread out.
Yeah, I probably would have done a C, but the hope that someone's figured something out with him bumped me up to a B minus.
Yeah, maybe we just haven't figured him out. Maybe we just don't see it. I'll tell you this.
They keep telling us we haven't figured out original Daredevil either.
Yeah, right. Of course. Okay. All right. Well, Brandon or Brad, do you have any comic book recommendations for Klaw?
I do. I've got 3 today, all single issues.
Okay.
Instead of like a storyline or whatever. So Fantastic 453. This is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This is Klaw's first appearance. Black Panther explains like the history of Wakanda to the Fantastic Four. Whew. And Klaw, who killed T'Chaka, Black Panther's dad, he attacks Black Panther, and the Fantastic Four help beat him. It's Klaw's first appearance. It's important.
He ugly there too.
Jack Kirby never draws anything ugly unless it's on purpose. He
I
does.
didn't say it wasn't on purpose.
He's very good at drawing monsters. So, Jack Kirby, very important. He is the one that created Darkseid and the New Gods for DC. Everybody knows who Darkseid is now, right?
Sure.
I mean,
Is
they
he in
made a
the-
6-hour movie about him.
Is he in the DC verse that rivals the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Rivals.
I mean, they just blew it up. They just destroyed the entire DC universe. They're gonna start from scratch.
Remember, Thanos is a ripoff of Darkseid.
That is accurate.
Oh wow.
Darkseid way cooler than Thanos, for the record.
That's
Oh, wow.
also true. And I hate to say that.
Yeah. Darkseid, and that's something like if you look into all the Darkseid stuff's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also the DC animated universe has a lot of Darkseid movies, and they're awesome.
DC tends to do their villains very much better than Marvel could ever think of.
Ooh. Mm-mm. No, because
Oh.
the two best villains ever are both Marvel.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Really? Because I'm thinking of some DC villains that are great.
No. Nothing's better than Doctor Doom
Hold on.
or Magneto.
Joker.
No. Joker's
Yeah, Joker.
stupid.
That's an opinion. That is not a fact.
No,
I
Joker
would.
sucks.
Doctor Doom and Joker are probably 1A and 1B.
I don't know anything about
You are
Dr. Doom.
underestimating Magneto. Magneto literally is the number one on so many lists.
I'm not underestimating. I think those are the top three. I just think discrediting Joker and his
Joker's terrible.
fan.
Okay,
his
the
fans
next
Joker's not any good.
the next recommendation is
Wait, didn't you say the top three? What's the third one? Or did you just say the top two?
what? 2.
Did you say? Oh, okay.
I said 2. No, there's no third there. Next recommendation, Dazzler number 9. The story's called The Sound and the Fury. It's by Danny Fingeroff, Tom DeFalco, and Frank Springer. Dazzler, who is a mutant that absorbs sound and turns it into light, meets Klaw, and they end up fighting. In case you didn't know, Klaw is made of sound. So he was not going to win this fight. In fact, it goes very bad for Klaw. Dazzler completely absorbs him.
Oh boy. So is he gone? Does he die?
He dies, but he gets better. It's comics. He dies here. Dazzler now has more power than she's ever had before. And it gets the attention of Galactus. You know, the guy who eats planets. And that's where this issue ends. But I suggest you read the further adventures of Dazzler, Herald of Galactus.
Oh boy.
It's pretty cool. Anyway, the last recommendation is a much newer comic. So the first one was probably 60s, maybe early 70s. Dazzler would have been in the 80s. Daredevil, number 3 from 2012. Mark Waid.
Claw's first appearance was in 1966.
Okay, so it was the 60s. Daredevil. Oh, yeah, it's Mark Waid and Paulo Rivera. Daredevil is kidnapped by Klaw's sound echoes. So they're like, I don't even fully understand. This is what's going on with his model, though. That he's there and there's like a sound echo there. I don't know. I don't know that much about Klaw. Anyway, they kidnap Daredevil. And then Daredevil has to fight Klaw. And then something you need to know about Daredevil is that he's blind. And he figures out where everyone is and fights based on sound. And Klaw's made of sound. But Klaw's made of too much sound. And that's a problem for Daredevil. Also, Daredevil can't practice law anymore. It's like a subplot.
Oh no.
That's a subplot in this issue. Yeah, so Klaw versus Daredevil. Daredevil definitely not have the advantage in that one like Dazzler did.
It seems like the opposite would occur.
Yeah, it seems real bad for Daredevil. And then Daredevil dies, but he gets better.
Because comics.
Yeah.
He didn't
actually die.
The one thing I'm gathering here is that Klaw versus Venom, not a fair fight for Venom.
No. I've already picked the cover images for the YouTube and the audio, which I'm sorry, Apple podcast listeners, you do not get to see the episode art. It's unfortunate. But I picked art. It's from a Carnage comic where Klaw absolutely owns Carnage. Just decimates him. And he's standing over his comatose body in the image. Anyway.
To be fair, Klaw, even without, I do want to clarify this, for people who are going to be upset about Criminal Syndicate getting another leadership, it 100% makes sense for him to be in Criminal Syndicate. It is kind of odd he has a leadership because he's never really led anything besides himself. He's very much a solo act.
It's fine though, Brandon, because it's not like anyone's ever going to play his leadership.
You shouldn't.
All right, Brandon, do you have
However, if you do play his leadership, you should play it with the combination of MODOK, Scientist Supreme, Shadowland Daredevil, and Hood. These characters bringing with the grunts give him a good time. They allow you to advance Klaw plus heal Klaw, and you can defer attacks with MODOK to Klaw, so then Klaw can heal himself, and then Hood can heal him, because Hood can always guarantee that he has the damage with his builder attacks. I kind of spoiled what I was going to go with to Brad's demise here. I do think he plays really well with Cyclops.
Wow.
I know.
You're doing all the deep cuts lately.
For Cyclops' leadership, for those of you who have never read it, once per turn, when an allied character declares an attack action before it chooses an attack to use, any number of allied characters within 3 of the attacking character may spend 1 power. For each 1 power spent, reduce the power cost of the attacking character's attack by 1 to a minimum 1 for this attack action. Having the option for 2 beam 5s that you can reduce with other characters' power to save your power, specifically for Klaw to push people away to help you secure points, and heal himself, plus kind of stay away from range, are key things that you can do with both Cyclops and Klaw. It is a 9-point investment, but thankfully, the Uncanny X-Men affiliation has a lot of lower threat characters that you can play with them. Yay!
Honey Badger's actually a good one to put in there because
Honey Badger and X-23, you can make a very strong list, I think, with that core of X-23, Honey Badger, Klaw, and Cyclops.
less defense dice when you attack with Klaw, and she can use her taunt to take some pressure off of Klaw.
Yeah, and that's only 14. You're at 14 threat with those 4 models. So being able to play, so you're gonna have a 5 model count at like the 17 mark, which is really, really good and really, really where you want to be in that affiliation. So I think
Winter
it gives
Soldier.
That's a good one. That is definitely a good one to throw in there.
Beam 5, range 5, normal.
Yeah. So those would be the 2 things. I think if you really want to play Klaw and Klaw's leadership, there aren't a ton of Criminal Syndicate models I think that really play well off of him. I do think Shadowland Daredevil and Hood are 2 that if you're playing this model, you're probably going to have with you, mainly for the grunts and then the extra healing. There is something to say too. The energy attacks there are a lot of characters weak to energy attacks. Like there are very few that have strong energy defense, and you can kind of play a little bit more of a killy list. There are probably better ways to do that. But if this is something you want to do, I literally just like trashed him in the middle of trying to hype him up. Oh, that was poor, very porous of me to do. But there's a lot of health pool there. He's got 14 health, and like I said, he hits really hard. So if you want to play him, I'll talk about that more in a future podcast, where I'll build around him. And then if you want to splash him there, I think he plays really well with Cyclops. For those of you who are very pro Cyclops, even though Cyclops is a bitch. I also think he plays really well with Guardians of the Galaxy, but that is starting to feel like with the Guardians of the Galaxy roster at this point, that feels like a real fucking cop out because that roster is just so good at this point that I could throw a turd in there as a 10th model and be like, this roster's really good, guys. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it might smell a little bit, but it's probably going to win you a lot of games.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's an affiliation that there's a lot of people I believe out there that are still trying to make Cyclops work. I think this is a nice little tech piece for them. I think they should. I think people should give it a try. And if you do, let us know in the comments. We would love to hear about it. I don't even think I have a Cyclops model to use to even play test this scenario.
I have 2.
I'm actually legitimately surprised it's only 2.
Well, I have a 3rd, but I have 2 painted.
Do you know how many Longshank games have been played by Cyclops?
It's really low.
28.
It's not that low.
65?
Not that low.
No. It's not that low?
Not that low. Fun fact, Cyclops has a better win percentage than 2 affiliations.
Wow.
And I think a lot of leaders too. Hold on, I'm going to do some math here.
No, we've gone long enough. Let's go.
Yeah, we've gone long enough. All right,
Fred, what's
last
your
thing? Yeah, okay.
It's 41%. There's 227 games played.
My thing today is the 2022 The Batman movie. This movie, I did not go in expecting much. I thought it was going to be really bad. I thought it was going to be crappy. And I was pleasantly surprised when you have Colin Farrell hamming it up like ridiculously, to the degree that it's extremely entertaining. And I actually very much enjoyed Robert Pattinson as Batman. He was pretty good, a lot better than I was expecting. And of course, the reason why I'm doing this is it has Andy Serkis as Alfred. And Andy Serkis famously plays Ulysses Klaw in the Marvel Universe. Now that I've spelled the heck out. All right. Well, I will see it.
He's also
Who's a great actor.
He's also in Andor and was fabulous in Andor.
Oh my god! Yeah, guys, watch Andor. So you've gotten to that. Have you finished
done.
Andor?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with Rebels too.
The art on Claw should have been based on the movie version of Claw and not the comic book version.
Agree.
No.
Andy Serkis gave more personality to this character than he could have than any other actor probably could have. Yeah, I love Andy Serkis.
A+ actor for a C- model. Everyone have a great day. Bye.